All right. Good morning or good evening, everybody. Hopefully, everybody is doing good today. We'll wait to verify that you guys can hear me and see me, and then we'll go ahead and get going. Got some interesting stuff to discuss today. We'll talk about the vaccine a little bit. We'll also talk about some of the popular destinations and some interesting statistics on the vaccines and also tourist destinations. So we'll jump into all of that in just a second. I'll wait for some more people to show up, and then we'll go ahead and get going here. But I'll go through a few comments here, and then we'll get started. But good morning, Ron. As usual, Ron is the first comment. Let's see here. So, Rogue Avocado, how are you doing in Seattle? How are you doing today? And we got Born Nomad. How's it going? Uh, and Rogue is asking about, I heard that Qantas Airline is going to start requiring vaccines to travel. That's what I read in the news article as well. So, yeah, let's see here. Let's see. We got Roger here. Good morning. How you doing? Yeah, downvoting already. That shows that you've made it on YouTube when you start to get some thumbs down before you've even started. That's a badge of honor. Hey, Jonathan. Who is Short Province Girl? Is she your girlfriend, fiance, or wife? Because I'm mixed up on who is who or what channel is who. No, Ging is my girlfriend. Short Province Girl is engaged to a guy named Sean. Separate person altogether. Makoto, how you doing? Good morning from Tokyo. And JM Adventures, good to see you here. And Jan, good to see you. Feels like New Year's countdown. Hey, Henry, good to see you. Thank you for being a YouTube member, by the way. Let's see, 24 degrees here in Imus Cavite. Nice weather. This is the coldest I've seen it. Hey, good morning. Nice temperature. Yeah, that's comfortable. And Michael, how you doing? Rainy in Boston. And Great Man, how you doing? Okay, so I'll just get through a couple last comments, and then we'll go ahead and start, and then we'll talk a little bit about the vaccine and travels, and some of the top 10 travel destinations during this whole pandemic, and what destination is leading the pack at number one. So we'll go into all of that as well. So how you doing, Ryan? Shout out from Rio. Nice, Brazil. Got Nathan in the UK and Mr. Roy over in London. Good to see you. And we got Tom in West Virginia and Giacomo Liga. Good morning from Chicago. Nice Irish name there. Okay, so Gio, what are the cheapest 3-year visa run countries to fly to? Well, you can just fly over to Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. They're all real cheap. So St. Petersburg, Florida. Awesome to see you. Yeah, St. Petersburg. I was in the St. Petersburg National Guard when I first started out. So very cool. And over in San Diego, we got Ray and David over in St. Louis. Chris, good to see you. And Albert. We got Juan down in Florida and Mike and Larry. So we'll go ahead and get going, and then we can read into some more comments. But I just read an article that talks about it. Just came out. If you guys are interested, I'll link it down below. But it's new vaccines will not solve travel restrictions in 2021. So what they're saying, this is just the U.S., but what they're saying is the problem with the vaccine entry requirements. Entry requirements too early and make it the only way to enter the country could face multiple hurdles in 2021. So they are expected to have the vaccine right around the middle of December. And the first people to get the vaccine are expected to be frontline workers. But even the US government is realistic that it'll take at least May for 70% for Americans to be vaccinated. But not only that, in a recent poll by Gallup, only 58% of Americans are willing to get the vaccine. And for countries that depend on US tourists, are they willing to turn away over 40% of US travelers by enacting a vaccine only requirement? So I thought that was interesting. Got some numbers to go along with that. Canada is saying that if all goes well, more than half of Canadians will be vaccinated by next September. So that's still a long ways away. Another thing is different vaccines, which one's going to be used. And then the other thing is on November 7th, for example, the UK banned travelers coming from Denmark because a mutated strain of the coronavirus, which caused COVID-19, transferred from minks to humans. So you also have the mutated strains of the coronavirus. Australia is not letting anybody in. So anyway, so I thought it would give some numbers there, and we can talk about that. So, will travelers visit countries that require vaccine for entry? Only 57% said they would be willing to visit a country that required a COVID-19 vaccine for entry. 29% of travelers said they would choose another destination, and 12% were still undecided. So, interesting numbers. So, we're going to go into the top 10 countries that people are traveling to during the pandemic, and then we'll talk about the number one country. We'll see if you guys can guess what the number one country is for the travel destinations. But thank you, George. I appreciate that. Over in Culpeper, Virginia. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. So we'll get through some more comments, and we'll talk about the top 10 countries that people have been traveling to during the pandemic. So, and Chris over in Carthage, Maine. Awesome. And morning. Can't wait to get back. I can complain about things in the Philippines. Yeah, I did some shopping on Amazon actually. Yeah. Hello, Kate. How are you doing? I subscribed to you for a long time. How many subscribers do you have? I hide my subscribers. I do it because I don't want to be known as a big channel. I don't want to be known as a small channel. I just want people to click on me because they think a video is interesting. So I don't actually share how many subscribers I have, but it's more. I'll tell you this: it's more than 15,000, and it's less than 100,000. I'll give you that hint. At some point, I'll probably make it public again, and then maybe hide it again. I don't know. We'll see. So, hey, Gomor Hike, how you doing? Just drove home in a light dusting of snow today, Alabama. And Jeffrey, good to see you over in Frederick, Maryland. And Jonathan, really windy here in Leyte today. So, Jam, I paid a pile of money for my visa because I was scammed by a woman claiming to have connections with the government. I lost 25,000 pesos plus the immigration penalties for being late. Oof. Lesson learned, I guess, huh? And Scott, how you doing? Michigan checking in. So storm coming. Well, we had last night. We had really heavy rain and wind. So, as far as I know, the unemployment here is still sitting at about the same, at about 50%. Yeah. So it's my understanding that only a passport is needed for U.S. citizens to visit the Philippines for 27 to 30 days. Is that correct? When things open, that is correct. You'll get 30 days. Visa upon arrival type thing. You just get 30 days. Southern Illinois here. So Henry is guessing Mexico. You think the Philippines will open by April 2021? I'm thinking it's going to be less restrictive and it'll start letting in tourists, almost what like Thailand is doing. So you think Colombia, and we've got Mexico. So we'll see. So, G, if the Philippines government says take the vaccine or leave, what is your stance? Well, either way, I'm going to be leaving because I got to take care of business in the U.S. But I think that will be something. I don't like to be forced to do something anywhere. I like to have freedom of choice, but I don't know how I would feel about that. Not sure yet. David Letterman, top 10. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to it here. Just a couple more comments, and I'll read off the top 10, and we'll talk about the number one destination. So let's see here. So quality content's more important. Yeah, I see. Some people don't even like if it's a channel and there's not many subscribers, people won't click on it. Some people think it's a impersonal channel if it's too big. So I just hide the subscriber account. Hey, good morning, Jeff. How you doing? And William, thank you. I appreciate that. I did one. I did one. So Gary and Spain and Portugal we got. Okay, so let's go ahead. We got Costa Rica as another guess. Um, hey Geo, Massachusetts checking in, hoping I can visit the Philippines in February. I don't know about February. That's pretty soon. Tim from France, you mentioned lastly Turkey has travel destination. I think you should think about that. The Sultan has some eco issues, except the exchange ratio. You don't want to be the first to take the vaccine, but after it's out for a little bit. That's kind of how I feel on it. So I'm flying to Medellin, Colombia in a week. Have to exit Brazil within 90 days. You're the second, fourth person I know who's been to Colombia now. Hey, good morning, Dale. And good morning, John. And good morning, Texan. So let's go ahead and do the top 10. So these are the top 10 travel destinations during the pandemic. This came out November 10th, so I assume not much has changed. So number 10, Tunisia, or I'm sorry, Tanzania. How do you spell? I don't know. How do you pronounce that? I'll let you go. I know I'm butchering that. I apologize. Tanzania or something. Number 9 is Maldives, the Maldives. And number 8, Turkey. Number 7 is Colombia. And number 6 is Costa Rica. And then number 5 is Jamaica. And number 4, Bahamas. Number 3, Dominican Republic, which sounds right because I know half a dozen people who've been there now. Number 2, believe it or not, Croatia. That never actually struck me as even being in the top 10, but it's number 2. It has skyrocketed and is visited by almost 20 million tourists a year, apparently. Apparently, it's really beautiful. And number 1, you got it. A few of you guessed it, Mexico. So Mexico has become the number 1 tourist destination in the world during COVID-19. It was the first country to reopen its major tourist destinations back at the beginning of June. And travelers rave about the easy entry requirements and extra precautions the tourism industry is taking to protect travelers. Cancun was the first city in the world to receive the WTTC Safe Travel Stamp and has already received millions of visitors since opening in June. So there you have it. That is number 1. So, which is funny because I know quite a few people down in Mexico now. So, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, that's it. Tanzania. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why I went brain dead there for a second. So, yep, that's number 1, and I think a lot of people guess that it's Mexico is so easy on the requirements. You can stay for like 6 months. So yeah, that's number 1. I know literally, I think at least a dozen expats that have went down there, and then Colombia, Dominican Republic, Latin America seems to be scooping up the tourists that the Southeast Asia doesn't want. However, Thailand is trying to start to make things a little bit easier. So you can successfully come over to Thailand and stay for 90 days. You can get a 60-day visa, and then you can extend it one time for 30 days. So you could stay there 90 days. So if some of you are waiting for the Philippines to open and maybe you want to come out and live here or just do like a long 6-month vacation, you could head out to Thailand. You would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. But then, you'd be free to roam around, and the country is pretty wide open. So Aaron says, I good bad news. I tested positive for antibodies for COVID-19, means I'm immune for a few months. I'm hoping maybe I can travel. Huh. Wow. So Henry, I don't want to be the first to take the vaccine. I wait to see the side effects. That's why I do not buy brand new cars off the lot. Yeah, I kind of feel like you. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I hooked on phonics for sure. But Ghana, yeah, I know. So it was a hard decision between Philippines and Colombia. I chose Philippines, and I think I'm already with my choice, or you're all right with your choice. I think you're saying, yeah. So fanatic forager, good day, Geo. Glad yourself and company are in good health. That vaccine, especially when there's talk of being compulsory, reminds me of history where such measures only brought abject trauma. I hear Libya is very nice this year. I'll let you go check it out. So yeah, Viva la Mexico. Yeah, Mexico number one. So Colombia, Costa Rica, Brazil. Yep. What I use is I use traveloffpath.com. They update daily on the countries and requirements, and so that's what I use. Yeah. See, I do not see Cambodia on the list, JM. I have not seen Cambodia on the list. I think that's almost like just a rumor. I don't think that's actually true. So, Dominican Republic, I've heard multiple people say that it is good, but so many stores are closed and there's a curfew in effect, so it's just not quite the same. I think Mexico and Colombia would be much better. So, Jeffrey, I heard the best vaccine that I hope they use is the one from Moderna, and it's supposed to be 100% effective. Yeah. If Thailand would shorten the quarantine period to 7 days, I'll go. Yeah. Well, they got rid of the hefty amount you need to have in your bank account. Now you just need to show $700. You have to stay at one of the approved quarantine facilities, which is a variety of different hotels. And I saw nice hotels for about 800 for 2 weeks. That includes they'll test you twice, all your meals. Um, so yeah, but 2 weeks stuck in your hotel room, I'm not ready to do that. Yeah, I won't go anywhere. I'm forced into quarantine. That's not a vacation. Yeah, exactly. I like I said, I think the only people that would be willing to head over to Thailand are the people that just maybe want out. They want out of Canada, they want out of the UK, or what have you, and they're willing to do the 2 weeks because they're going to stay there 90 days, and then maybe they can change up their visa. Maybe they can change up and get an education visa, take a few Thai classes or cooking classes. You can get the education visa. You could work for a school and teach English till things open up, and get a work visa. Um, you could pop over to Indonesia, and then I think things will probably open up with the Philippines pretty soon. So it could be kind of like a staging area for you. So, hey Gio, how is Philippines? Much Corona, much Corona beer. No, no. Well, it's the second most in Southeast Asia, only behind Indonesia. I think there's over 400,000 cases. But in a country of 100 million, that's really not a lot. So, hey, Carl, hopefully soon I can get to the Philippines. Soon my new Filipina lives in Caloocan. Hopefully soon. How's teaching been going? What's the mood on the state of the world from your students? Well, I have I've actually got a few Filipino students. I teach online. They're wives and children of expats, and then I have a student from France, some from Vietnam, one from Italy, and yeah, it's just I think everybody's just tired of this whole thing. The U.S. Department of State updated the travel advisory for Mexico on August 6, 2020. Do not travel to Mexico due to COVID. Exercise increased caution in Mexico due to crime and kidnapping. I mean, everybody I've talked to has been happy down in Mexico. So I suppose it depends where you are. And, you know, let's see here. Henry and Sarah Jane, the Gehring family. Hello, Gio. It's been a while. How you guys doing? Good to see you. And by the way, Ken, thank you for signing up and becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate that. Definitely a way to help support my channel. I appreciate it. Let's see. In your opinion, do you think the Philippines will open in 2021? I think they have to. I think they will do something like Thailand. I think initially maybe they want to do bubble tourism, meaning they will open up to other countries in Asia that have handled the pandemic well, like South Korea, Japan, maybe even China. And I think they'll start with that. And then I think what will happen is they will start to do maybe what like Thailand is doing. I really don't get it. If somebody wants to come to the Philippines, if they're willing to do the swab test at the airport and willing to quarantine in a facility for 2 weeks and then be allowed to go wherever, why not allow them to do that? I don't get it. So cases 432,000, 399 recovered, deaths 8,392. I mean, really, in a country of 100 million, that's really nothing. Yeah, travel off path. It is a great site. It is. That's the site I use. Hey, James, Gio, you're the best. Thanks for the updates. I wanted to visit the Philippines for 2 weeks only, but is not enough. If you're coming all the way across, I mean, your travel time, you're looking at 2 days here to one day back because you go backwards. But yeah, 2 weeks is not enough. It really isn't with your travel time and airport time and taxi time and all of that. You're only getting 10 days. So you got to do at least 3 weeks, I think. Should do at least 30 days, but I'm not close on my 3 years. No. No. Because I actually left. Well, I was living in Vietnam and I came back here in, let's see, July of last year. But then I also went out to Malaysia at the beginning of the year in March. So yeah, no, I don't have any problem with that. So Texan, I've seen quite a few YouTubers that have gone to Thailand recently and it sucked, but it worked out for them. If you're going to stay for 6 months or something, why not? Yeah, that's what I mean. If you plan on staying for a while, then you can quarantine. And then I did read something that in Thailand, when you do your 14-day quarantine, on day 3, they will let you head to the gym for 1 hour each day. So at least you can get out, you can get on the treadmill, run, exercise for 1 hour a day. And then I think on day 12, they open up more areas of the hotel to you that you can come out of your room. So you're not totally locked into your room the entire time. I did read that. If anybody wants those articles, like I can send them over. But so hey, if anyone doesn't want the vaccine, no problem. Your life is going to get a lot more difficult in the future. Good luck trying to travel anywhere in 6 months or so. Yeah, we got to see what's going to happen. It's interesting times for sure. So boots on the ground in the Philippines before moving. I'm taking 30 days to scope out different areas to rent. That's a good move. And Even when you get here, I don't recommend jumping into a lease. I made that mistake, and then I said, "Oh man, I wish I would have moved to this condo or this area of town." Because once you live here, you start to figure out. You talk to people, and you figure out really what's the best area and what area you like. So I recommend just doing an Airbnb for 30 days, and then nothing's in your name. Your electric, your internet, your cable, all of that's in the Airbnb's name. Nothing extra out of pocket, and you're not required to put all these deposits and start these contracts because the internet's going to be like a 2-year contract when you get out here, typically. So yeah, that's what I would do. Moderna is the vaccine connected to Gates, Mr. Depopulation. Hard pass for me. And hey, David, good to see you. Good morning. I work in the medical center in Houston. We will start getting the vaccine at the end of this week. I'll let you know if I grow a third eye or a horn from my head. Yeah, I appreciate that, David. I plan on retiring there next year. I do plan on getting the vaccine before going. Yeah. So, Henry, I've been to the Caribbean a few times. Southeast Asia is the place to be, in my opinion. I think so too. I think there's some great areas in Latin America as well. But yeah, there's some areas. So speaking of, Buddy is one of my friends who is down in Mexico. Viva Mexico, but Bali is looking good, and they have a Filipino population there. So see, I didn't know they had a Filipino population there. But you can get to Indonesia. You can do 6 months on a social visa. They also have a business visa, which isn't too pricey. So I think the visa itself is like $400 or something, or the social visa. It's not so expensive. Yeah, I do. But it's really hard to advertise for Chinese students because the Chinese students are blocked. They don't have access to YouTube, Facebook, so it's really hard to advertise. Have you been to SM lately? Are a bunch of stores closed down, or is it fairly active? Well, there is no SM here in Dumaguete. We have Robinson's Mall. Robinson's is another one of the large chains. You have four of them really. You have Gaisano Mall, which is a lower end mall. They're all over the Philippines. You have SM, you have Ayala, and then you have Robinson's. And those four are the big ones. And yeah, a lot of stores are closed. A lot of stores have decided I'm not going to pay rent anymore with no customers. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah. Gilbert, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you know why the dollar is going down versus the Philippine pesos? I would think Philippines economy is in worse shape than here in the U.S. Um, that's a really good question, and I don't know exactly. I honestly don't know, but I know just from talking to my friend Buddy down in Mexico, uh, the dollar is getting a beating down there, and it's getting a beating up here. So it's yeah, it's just taking a beating all over, and I don't get it. At one point, it was 53 pesos. I think that was about a year ago here, or a year and a half ago, and now we're down to like 48. Now you don't see it initially when you take out small withdrawals, but when you take out a large chunk, 20,000 pesos at a time, you notice it. So I don't know. That sucks though. Again, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Let's see here. Uh, so yeah, like Buddy says, we are free in Mexico, and I don't think Buddy's had any safety issues whatsoever. It's been a while, Gio. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, John. Mr. Vegas, U.S. State Department always puts out panicky advisories on travel. Mexico crime is probably no worse than usual. It's probably no worse than Chicago or anywhere else in the U.S., to be honest. Um, I've lived in Mexico for over 1 year, no problems. Yeah, that's what I mean. Everybody that I know about a dozen people down in Mexico now. They've said no problem whatsoever. So Yeah. David, thank you so much for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that. And hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We got to have a traditional Thanksgiving meal here. I'll take Ging out for Christmas dinner as well. But we had turkey, we had cranberries, we had pumpkin pie, we had stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy. We had the whole thing. And ironically, it was an Australian bar owned by an Aussie, and in the Philippines, and we had a traditional American Thanksgiving. So let's see here. My Filipina said she wouldn't want to live in her homeland for permanent. I told her I understand that and I respect her. So I wish so and respect her wish. So I know I will be retiring in the Philippines. She wouldn't want to live in her homeland for permanent. Are you saying she would, Carl? She wouldn't want to live in the U.S. or she wouldn't want to live in the Philippines? Let's see. As much of a Debbie Downer as this is going to sound, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening all over the world. Who really knows what is going to go down? Government's out of control. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of uncertainty going around all over. So, yeah, you're right. Cases are basically nothing like the flu. I mean, for some people, they don't even show any signs or effects. Yeah. So, Mr. Roy Michael had a visa for Jakarta before the lockdown and couldn't collect it. So now aiming for Quezon City instead. Much better, and at least it's not sinking into the sea. Yeah, I've heard that about Jakarta, but I think with it sinking into the sea, you'd probably have some warning. I don't think it would just boom. So, hello, Jelly. Bless morning, watching from Dumaguete. Oh, okay. We're neighbors. I wonder if the Philippines will open up if you have the vaccine. That's the question. Um, you would think so. Let's see. Hey, morning, Rambling Rick. How you doing? Good to see you. Problem with the vaccine and travel. If you can travel, if you feel like crap from the vaccine, who would want to travel? I have heard the experts are expecting bad side effects from it. Oof. Latin American women are very aggressive. I don't love that. Yeah, they do have a lot of jealousy and um, yeah, very possessive. So from JFK to the Philippines, what's the cheapest throwaway ticket? Honestly, Sperlin, just go to onwardticket.com and purchase a throwaway ticket. Um, it's like a rental ticket. Buddy says Mexicanos are beautiful, not aggressive to me. Okay. And yeah, Buddy's down in Mexico. Dollar's way down against the Mexican peso. Yep. Moderna vaccine sounds like the best so far, and it is already being shipped to hospitals. Yeah, I've heard actually from a few people that that work in the healthcare industry that they're slotted to take the vaccine really soon here. So, so Ryan says I've heard they are the most beautiful women in Mexico on average. In Guadalajara, head turners, stunning, really. We were just going over the top 10 countries that are being visited during the pandemic. Mexico was number one, just because of the laxed entry requirements and the laxed visa. So, yeah. So, December 7th, UK starts getting jabbed up. Bring it on so I can travel. USD is 48.03 yesterday. So Jim and Rose's adventure in Manila. I know the malls in Manila open. Only about 25% of the stores are open inside them with very little foot traffic. Yeah, well, I mean that's similar here. I mean, nobody wants to go, and nobody's got the money to go shop in the malls. They're shopping at the ukai stores, the used clothing, or they're shopping at the outdoor markets. They're just going cheaper. So the U.S. is printing a lot of money they're giving away, and that causes the devaluation. Yeah, could be low because of the Trump versus Biden election issue. Yeah. I've lived in TJ, Mexico for over 1 year, no problems. Yeah, I mean, most people I've talked to, I haven't talked to one person who's had any problem in Mexico. So I don't know where all these stories come from, but I mean, I'm sure there is crime, obviously. So I walk around late at night, but I'm not a victim. Yeah, Chicago is a third world country, no doubt. Hey, no problem, David. Take care, David. Hey, Ephraim, how you doing? Good to see you here. Yeah, Carl, if you really want to go any place in Asia, if you're coming across country, 2 weeks is not enough time. No, it definitely is not. Save up your vacation time and get another week and do 3 weeks. Well, just the certain area, I suppose. Yeah, he told me too. He would like to come. It'd be a big party there in Guadalajara. They didn't have sweet potato pie. I would have loved to have that, but they didn't have that. Yeah. So, one, travel restrictions in the Philippines ease up and viable vaccine has been distributed to the general public. What would be the best visa to stay in Cebu for 6 months? If you're just going to stay for 6 months, just do a tourist visa. You get the tourist visa and you just extend it out a couple times. You'll be fine. And John, for those who live currently living in Mexico as an expat, how's the cost of living versus the Philippines? According to Buddy, I think it's actually a little bit less, to be honest. And Todd's been in Mexico 2 months. So the euro's still increasing. I've never been to the Philippines, but I've heard it's comparable to Thailand. Guadalajara is a world class city. I've heard, and I've heard that as well. So, Gio, we had another vaccine company today ask the FTC for emergency approval for distributing their COVID vaccine. Wow, coming out left and right now. So you are my neighbor. And hey, John, good to see you. And Joe Finn, good to see you. 204. No, actually, one time I hit over 400. So I think I hit over 400. And I can't remember. I think I had a guest on my live stream, and I think that's probably why. So yeah, Mexican food's amazing. Like Buddy says, yeah, you can't go wrong. That's one thing that the Philippines suffers in is the food area. Brazilian is the worst food. Huh. I just interviewed an expat down in Colombia. That video will come out in 3 days. I will have that video out, still editing on it, and he loved it. He had a great time. So, and then we got Thomas down in Panama. Hey, Gio, doing good in Panama. So Thomas was in South Korea, did 90 days in South Korea, and now is in Panama. So Thomas venturing out all over the place. So yeah, Dusty, a lot of people feel that way as well. Jakarta might fall into the sea. Hank Johnson, a U.S. congressman, thought that the island of Guam might capsize if they put too many sailors on it. True story. Do you think the Dumaguete housing market will be able to handle the influx of expats once things are allowed again? Yeah, Joe, there's so many places here. So many places. Right now, if you were here in Dumaguete, it is a renter's market. I mean, you can just go to some of these places that are like 30,000 a month, you can pay 15,000. I mean, it's and maybe that's a over exaggeration, but the rent is really starting to come down here. So remember, a lockdown in the Philippines is completely different from people who are over 60. I believe it went to 65 in the area where I lived just last week. You're right, Jim. And that's the issue. A lot of people, I've got several people, several friends that have left for that reason alone. If you were under that age, they could at least get out. But the rest of them, they were being turned away at restaurants. They couldn't go into the store. They were being ID'd. Who wants to spend a year stuck at home? So, yeah, you fly into Guadalajara, they take your temp, boom, 180 days. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that anywhere. And I think that's why Mexico is so big right now. So, back to the this article came out. U.S. travelers still flocking to Mexico despite new CDC warning. Mexico. Yeah, the travel one-way ticket sales between the United States to Mexico during the week of November 23rd were only down 12% from this time last year. So their tourism has hardly taken a hit. One-way tickets are usually purchased by travelers, snowbirds that head south to Mexico each year for the winter for longer stays, usually between 1 to 6 months. Mexico isn't only seeing just long stay travelers, according to the CIC, and Mexico has already recovered 61% of all U.S. tourist traffic in comparison to the same period in 2019. Mexico is still by far the most popular country for U.S. tourists. Let's see. Top destinations are Cancun, Los Cabos, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico City, and Guadalajara. Those are the top destinations. So yeah, um, that's it. So let me see. Yeah, that's the article about Mexico. But yeah, that's a lot of people are heading out there. So Panama uses the USD, so no loss in exchange rate. Ecuador too. Ecuador is open. Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Belize, Honduras. Yeah, this just in: Christmas canceled. I think we knew that already. I um I do think it'll be a little bit cheaper in some aspects. Yeah. Then again, you could have the reverse too. They could like be starving, so they're going to charge you more. But I think you can haggle the price much better. Yeah, Thomas left South Korea. He did 90 days. That's how long your visa lasts, and then in Panama. So, Ray, I lived in the middle of Mexico for 2 years. Good expat areas are Lake Chapala, Guadalajara, and San Miguel de Allende, Guanajuato. Great weather. Yeah, well, a lot of people are coming down there. Sorry, she wouldn't want to leave her homeland permanently. I think a lot of Filipinas are like that. A lot of Filipinas are much happier just staying in the Philippines. They're very family oriented. They want to be around their family. Sometimes that causes the divorces. When you take a Filipina back to the U.S., it's not that maybe there's a problem with the age difference or being unfaithful or anything like that. It's just that they miss their family so much. They are just so family oriented. They're very social. Even with their neighbors, their doors are open. They just come over, and yeah, it's crazy. So, Reginald, Panama women are beautiful. I believe you. Just have to have a negative COVID test 3 days before flying there. Yep. Hey, George, morning. Geo, Metro Manila, as well as the provinces of Batangas, Llano del Sur, and Davao del Norte, and the cities of Iloilo, Tacloban, Iligan, and Davao would remain under GCQ until December 31. Yep. We're still modified general community quarantine here, which is good. We did have a little bit of an uptick in COVID cases here, so hopefully, it doesn't get locked down again. So let's see here. So I have a 1,500 square foot condo on the beach. Wow, that's huge, Thomas, in Latin America. So good morning. Have a blessed morning. Thank you. I'm from Chicago myself, and from what I hear from my friends, there might not be much of a city to go back to in 2022. Hmm. My buddy said young women in Nicaragua love white guys. I'd like to hear from Jeff about his thoughts on living in TJ and working in San Diego. For those of us that aren't in a position to retire, want to experience the culture but not throw away a career. We'll see if Jeff is still in the room. Let's see. Yep, I sure will. Thank you, Mavic. Oh, Nick, he's never had an issue, but he did. Let's see. Stories that would curl your hair. Life reset Philippines. Still, the people in the Philippines, people make a difference in your choice where to go. The people are amazing in the Philippines. That's very true. Hard to beat the friendliness and outgoing people of the Philippines. And the fact that they speak English is huge. So, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Stuck at home. Tell me about Davao City back on GCQ. I forgot what they call that yellow ball in the sky. Rents are good because the Canadians aren't coming. So it's just Americans. Canadians aren't even coming down. So, buddy, how's your Spanish coming along? So, Gio, I saw your video about CDO. I'm considering CDO seriously. It's probably even a better renter's market for sure, Joe. There's one area that I recommend that I really like, and that's called Uptown. It's right next to a mall. It's got a bunch of quaint little shops and restaurants. I used to go to this coffee shop that had extremely fast internet upload and download. I'd do all my video editing right in the coffee shop, upload my videos, and there's condos. There's an outdoor market to get fresh produce and fruit and vegetables and uh, barbecue. And yeah, I really like the Uptown area. I got to level where Los Mexicanos only care that I try. Yeah. No, they don't use dollars in Malaysia. Nope. They use ringgit. Women in Brazil are the most racially diverse I've ever seen. Yeah, they come in all forms, right? Yeah. In your videos, you really like CDO and Davao. If you had to quarantine over, would you prefer one of those places over Dumaguete? No, I don't think so. I think Dumaguete is really relaxed, and so I like it a lot. As far as having to be quarantined, I think this is probably one of the best places. Definitely glad I wasn't stuck in Manila or Cebu. Yeah. Siargao Island Airport is open today, waiting to see if anyone starts arriving today here in General Luna. So, Carl, to keep out of trouble, dress like the locals that live there and don't show off cash. Yep. Even in the Philippines, I never bring more than I'm going to spend for the day. I don't put all my credit cards in my wallet. I put one credit card, I put one ID. Usually it's my expired US license. And just enough cash to that I know I will use for that day. I don't bring a pocket full of cash. I don't bring all my credit cards. You don't need to bring all this stuff. You don't need to walk around with your passport. Um, yeah, have something in your wallet that works as an ID, but you wouldn't cry if it got lost or stolen. And don't bring a lot of cash. Bring what you're going to spend, and that's it. I have no reason to go anywhere else. It's Philippines or bust. A lot of people feel that way, Joel. So yeah, you're. A lot of people would say the same thing. So hey Tim, good morning from Wisconsin, home of cheese and beer and the Green Bay Packers. Hey Tim, yeah, buddies over in from Wisconsin. So Paula, you have to speak Spanish or have a handheld translation device in Mexico, except for big tourist spots. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I can't do cold anymore. It's rough. Tim, on my way soon. Mexico, Tim, you're going to Mexico. So you can get a COVID test in Panama City Airport, $50, 20 minutes, no problem. Wow, that's convenient. Feliz Navidad. Practicing out the Spanish today. Hi Gio, how's King's dad doing? I don't know. I'd have to talk to him, but I didn't know anything was wrong. So how much do you pay for the? I think Thomas was saying he pays around $1,000, but uh, Thomas, how much do you pay for that? I have never been to Mexico or South America. I believe the tourist areas are relatively safe because the cartels have it under control. Street thugs do not dare do their criminal activities in these areas. Yeah, I don't think they're want the extra problems anyway. So yeah. So I don't have a name. Mexico isn't ever safe. Read the newspapers, check your location, things happening close by. Locals are terrified, and the biggest thing is extortion. Again, I hear people say this stuff, but I don't. If everybody's that's there has no problem, so I don't know where all this comes from. But so precious metals. Hi, Geo from Australia. How hard is it to get my Filipina girlfriend on the pill while in Ormoc or Leyte? Well, they do have it. They can visit a clinic and do that. It's not that difficult. Let's see here. Oh, Ging's dad doing. Yeah. So for those you didn't know, my girlfriend's dad was attacked by the drunk neighbor with a machete and cut 3 times on the chest, chin, and on the forehead. Had to go in for stitches, tetanus shots. He's recovering, but had to do some X-rays. But man, crazy. If I have to be stuck in a country other than the US, it would be hands down the Philippines. A lot of people say that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Thomas. 1,000 a month, 500 deposit, no last month stuff. That's awesome. But it's only an opinion. Of course, I could be wrong. Philippines is great as long as you bring your own money. Otherwise, good luck. It's all about the money. I think a lot of countries are like that, though. It is a Muslim country, but there's 3 types of people. You have the Muslim, the Malay, you have the Indian population, and you have the Chinese population. Um, but it's I like it. I like Malaysia. CDO is Cagayan de Oro. It's in Mindanao. Every big city is dangerous to a degree. It's totally true. Even in the United States, right? Chicago, LA, Miami. Um, what are the best things to do in Malaysia, and how long did you live in Florida? Oh, I lived in Florida from the age of 13 all the way till 28, and then I joined the military and left. So, but let's see, best things to do in Malaysia. Oh man, They have great beaches. They've got great food markets. They've got great parks. They've got great sites, Batu Caves, just touring around. They got a river cruise on the boat at night with dinner and music and stuff. There's just a lot of great stuff. Just a fantastic city or a fantastic country. So Uber's cheap enough here, so don't walk around drunk. So yeah, movie theaters are not open in the Philippines. Not open in the Philippines. No, I don't drink or smoke either. So yeah, when you drink, that's expensive. Yeah, it is. It's expensive. So started snowing like crazy there in East Tennessee. Yeah, I don't miss that weather at all. I really don't. Criminals are looking for easy victims. Yeah, nothing wrong with the King's dad. Didn't see. I didn't I see a video saying he was stabbed by a neighbor? No, not stabbed. Not stabbed. Cut with a machete. Met a girl in Antipolo, heading there to Antipolo. Okay, just near Manila. Yeah. My December trip got canceled, so it looks like end of March for me. Wow. Yeah, they are going to press charges. I think they're going to. I think he left. The neighbor who did it left. He's not even around. I don't think they even know where he is. And he's going to be required to pay the medical bills. Hopefully, I don't know how that works in the Philippines. But yeah, there's a lot of tension going on right now. So crazy. Belize is nice, and Mexico is like anywhere else. If you're looking for trouble, you will find it. Yeah, I agree with that, Dusty. Just be smart, you know. Don't live next to drunk guys with machetes. No, he fled, took off. They don't know where he's at. Machetes and guns. I heard those are the weapons of choice for drunk Filipinos. Yep. Yeah, very true. Very true. Sometimes they react and think later here. So Thomas says the girls are nice in Panama, but holding out and looking for a relationship in the Philippines. They have a restaurant in the complex, and I had them send up a pizza. The delivery girl didn't want to leave. Carl, until December 14th, U.S. rolling back restrictions in the USA, so we will see what happens. Yeah, yeah. A lot of small towns can be bad too. Yeah. Mark, I've seen so many expats leave. Do you see yourself packing, returning to the U.S. depending on the COVID situation in the near future? Yeah, I do have to go back to the U.S. and take care of business. So I don't know exactly when, but it will be coming. The USA big cities are the most dangerous for a developing world country. Yeah, well, for a while, the U.S. was on being warned at for travel or warned against for travel. Yeah. So Jim and Rose's adventure in Manila, Philippines, where I live right now, fiber optics came by my house a month ago. Average speed is 25 up and 30 down. Per month cost is 1,500. Yeah, that's about where what I have, Jim, and my internet isn't too bad here, really. So I don't really have any problem with that. I lived in Chicago 50 years and never had a problem, but I knew where not to go. Yeah. Bottom line, live in a different country, it will change you. I think you become a more well-rounded person, well-traveled, better thinking process. If you're well-traveled, I think it really opens up your eyes on a lot of things. Yeah, I agree with that. I just heard if Santa tests positive for COVID on Christmas Eve. The gift delivery will be on hold for 14 days. That's a good one. uh, Cold here too. It's supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of snow tonight. Oh man, I don't miss that. Don't miss that. Gio, I intend to live in with my Filipina girlfriend in Ormoc. How bad is the just missing the province? Is it looked down upon? No, no, you'll be okay. And Ormoc is a nice area. Ormoc is just it's like a 3 hour boat ride from Cebu by fast craft or ferry. Yeah. No, you'll be fine. Santa got COVID this year. What was the reason why he attacked King Zed? I don't know. I think both drinking, they got into some kind of argument, picked up a machete, and boom. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, thank you, Ephraim. Oh, you saw a picture. Yeah, yeah. Lucky he didn't get hit in the eye or in the mouth or or in the ear or at major artery or something. So yeah. So, Philippe, it's funny. I've been to Malaysia once and I was not thrilled about it. Maybe I could not identify the typical Malaysian between the three main groups. I just didn't have a feel for it. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but I really like it because it's clean, it's organized, they speak English, the food is great, the infrastructure is great. And for me, it's almost the perfect home base. So, cheap flights everywhere. Thank you, George. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Where are you located, and how much can you personally get by with per month? We are moving to Kainta next year in October. The house is paid off already, so no rent for us. Well, I'm in Dumaguete, Negros Oriental, and my rent is only around 300. That includes water and internet and cable TV. And then we pay electric. Electric's about $100 a month, and then we go out to eat and travel and groceries. So we're spending around 1,000. When we were when the pandemic wasn't here, we were spending probably more like 1,500 a month because we were traveling and staying at resorts and things like that. So, but during the pandemic, about 1,000 a month for Ging and I. And pre-pandemic or maybe post-pandemic will be about 1,500 per month. I hear a nice place in Mexico is Merida on the Yucatan Peninsula. I've heard that name too. I don't know much about it. I've been to Mexico, but I went to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Chichen Itza, Tulum. I did all the tourist stuff. My internet is included. Internet's included. So, but I think it's about 1,500 pesos, which would be about $30. Merida is wicked hot and not as crime free as they say. Oh, well, thank you, George. Again, I appreciate the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see. So I dated a beautiful half Filipina through high school, and about a year after her dad was about a year after. Her dad was Filipino, her mother was a Swedish American, made a great combination. To this day, the most beautiful I've ever had. Mixed Filipinos are just gorgeous. And the kids are just super cute. The mixed babies in the Philippines, man, just adorable. So yeah, thank you, Carl. She appreciates that. Sure. Yeah, take care, John. Gio, thanks for the recommendations about Uptown CDO. Aligns with what my prospective girlfriend says. She lives in a small town called Balingasag, 40 kilometers northeast. Yeah, it is. It's a nice little location. Why is basketball so popular here? Well, And they love the NBA. That's what they get. They don't really understand the whole football. I think a lot of other sports take a lot of land. Like for example, soccer takes up a lot of space, and there's equipment involved. Basketball, they don't really have to have a lot of equipment. They just put up like a half court or something, or just a hoop, and they're good to go. Volleyball, also, you don't really need any equipment. They just put a net up on the beach and you're good to go. So, volleyball and basketball are big in the Philippines. Yeah. So, Dusty, before the Civil War started, I was working in Venezuela, and it's a beautiful place with awesome people, but their government is terrible. Yeah. And in Colombia right now, there's a lot of Venezuelans that are pouring into Colombia. So, William, a lot of Filipinos want to see snow, but once they experience it, I think they may change their minds about it. I think they um, are excited to see it, and I don't blame them. I'd want to see it too. It looks really nice on TV, right? But I think once they experience it, they're done with it. They've had enough. Hey, Philippe, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Your coffee's on me today. You're a good guy. Appreciate that, Philippe. Let's see. So CSN, my Filipino lodge with me in quarantine. CSN. I didn't quite exactly there. I don't watch cable, Ephraim. I have a Fire Stick, an Amazon Fire Stick. I have Hulu. I have Amazon Video, and I have Netflix and Apple TV. That's what I watch. I don't even turn on regular cable TV anymore. I just use that. So I think Valencia is awesome. A lot of expats live there. It's clean. It's cooler weather. A lot of nice places to go. A lot of great nature. A lot of great places to walk. They've got some good food up there. I like it. I like Valencia a lot. It's probably where Ging and I would live if we were to stay here permanently. I think we would probably move to Valencia. Oh, can she lodge with you during quarantine, George? I think only if you are legally married. I believe. Otherwise, I don't think so. Right outside of Manila. Oh, okay, okay. Like I said, God was born in Boquete, Panama, Eternal Spring. Um, you got you got really good gyms here, and you've got some gyms that are just like sweat boxes. I mean, it's just there's no aircon. It's the stuff is all outdated, but you have a lot of good gyms here. So don't worry, you'll easily find a good gym. But it depends. If you live in the province, you may not have a lot of great options. But if you're in a city, you're going to have a lot of great options that are just modern facilities, just like in the U.S., air condition and everything. Yeah, billiards are big here. Foosball, no. Darts, no. Card games, a little bit, but not as much as like the U.S. or anything. So, Laurelyn, you guys who love traveling different kinds of cities, come and visit Zamboanga del Sur. There are many beautiful resorts and beaches here too. Well, Laurelyn, that's one of the areas that we actually tell people not to go to. I have no doubt that it's beautiful. I'm sure Zamboanga del Sur is beautiful, but that is one of the areas that there's a lot of Muslim Abu Sayyaf, and so I never tell people to go there. If you do go there, get in and get out. Don't spend a whole lot of time. Meet your Filipina, and then maybe leave and meet up in CDO or something like that, or Davao. But yeah, you got to be careful with that. But I'm sure it is beautiful. I have no doubt that it is, and friendly people, pretty women. Dusty, I'm oil and gas, so I get to travel to some interesting places sometimes, but I call the great state of Texas home. Texas is a great state. Yeah. Hippie surf town, Surigao. Surigao is the surf town here in the Philippines. It's got the best waves. So, my friend JYL is from Dumaguete but works in Dubai. She wants to come for a visit here in Pittsburgh to see snow. Here's the snow shuffle. Yeah, leave your snow shovel. Yeah, it is. And I have a VPN on it so I can get all the US stuff on it. Yeah. What's the best way, in your opinion, on how to work a rental in the Philippines? Do I talk directly to the owner? Or is there an agency involved? I wonder about deposits and such. So it depends what city you're going to go to. I had a lot of luck going to rentpad.com, using rentpad, and um, I like to deal with an agent sometimes, and you don't have to deal with an owner, but you can deal with the owner, and it's probably the best way to get to bargain, you know. So Fire stick, great invention. Yeah, we got a little bit of a new topic today. Hey Cody, good morning. How you doing? Yeah, I appreciate that. Um I think I pay like 49 bucks or something for the year. I think you get like 30 days free or something to try it out, but I use ExpressVPN. I think you get like some. If you want to try it out, I think you can get use my link and you can get like a free month or something. I can't remember what. I'll put it here. So obviously there are lovely ladies throughout the Philippines, but do you sense CDO is especially good for that? CDO is really good, very friendly. They don't see as many foreigners, so I think they're a little bit more starstruck sometimes if they do see us. Yeah. That is true. They do take 30% of super chats. Yeah. So PayPal.me slash Yosan teaching is my PayPal. Can you tell me anything about the Camarines Sur province? You know, Ken, I've never been there. I've never been to that province, so I don't have a lot of information. Um, and I don't know anybody that's actually been there. But I've never heard anything bad about it. It's not on a list of as a place as being dangerous or anything. So I'm sure it's probably fine. I'm sure there's no problem whatsoever. For me, I'll wait until I can travel to the Philippines without the vaccine. Yeah, here's the thing, Cody. Is what if that? What if they say vaccine is going to be mandatory? You never know. You just never know. So we'll have to see what happens. But a negative test should be sufficient. I agree. I don't know why don't they do like Thailand and just let you take the test here, quarantine for 14 days, and then be on your way. Some of the best pizza I've ever had was here in Dumaguete. A guy from Switzerland owns this restaurant, and he's got the whole brick oven, the wood oven, and fresh mozzarella, and he's got they make the dough, and yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, Davao is the same way, Ron. Davao is the same way. Davao is great too. Yeah, I think it's still pretty good from what I understand. No, you never hear of shark attacks in the Philippines. That's the one thing, Latin America, California, you get the shark attacks, Australia even, but Philippines, no. Yeah. Sushi, I've had good sushi here too. I've had really good sushi here too. Yeah. So yeah, you can absolutely get good sushi here. Yeah, Ryan, the Gigantes Islands off the east coast of Iloilo are the most amazing place I've ever seen. Yeah, I have not been there, but I've seen some video on it and it looks amazing. That was one of the places I really wanted to get to. Really threw a wrench into my plans this whole pandemic. I was going to go to Surigao, I was going to go to Palawan. Ging and I were going to go to a bunch of different places, and we just never got to it. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens if I can still get to those places or not. Yeah, I think the vaccine will be mandatory for everyone to improve your COVID free. That's one of my worries. Yeah, that's one of my worries is that you will have to be vaccinated to get here. Time will tell. We'll see. You know, I did a video recently where they just came out and they comprised a list of their schedule of when they're getting everyone vaccinated here. So if they're going through the process of getting everyone vaccinated here, it stands to reason that they probably wouldn't let anybody in unless they're vaccinated. Um, so that's just my opinion. You have to. It's my number one. Yeah, I will. Because it looks phenomenal. No, no, I'm not from Chicago, Dusty, and New York pizza. Yeah, I agree. New York pizza. I've been to Italy, and I went to the home of pizza in Naples, Italy, and the pizza is phenomenal. But New York pizza is right up there. It's right up there with it. I would wait for taking the vaccination, same as so many other people, seeing as how we don't have much information about potential side effects. Yeah, that would be one of my worries as well. I really would like to make sure everything is good first. So if it's mandatory, I'll never say never. But yeah, research says that it's not for me. What American food chains have you seen in the Philippines? I have seen Denny's, TGI Fridays, Wendy's, McDonald's, Dairy Queen, Burger King. Oh, what else? I think Yellow Cab Pizza is a U.S. chain. Um, oh man, off the top of my head, I can't think now, but there's quite a few. Well, you got the places like Starbucks and stuff like that, but yeah, there's a few chains out here. TGI Fridays, I've been to several times. I think Shergow will be cool to go to once it opens up more, but before all of the millennials come back. Yeah, I don't think people are going to rush back. So if you get when things open up, I don't think it's just going to be this huge, um, pouring in of people. I don't think that's going to happen right away. So it's a double-edged sword. Take the vaccine and maybe you're fine, or maybe you come down with some nasty virus because of it. Hard to enjoy the Philippines or anywhere if you are bedridden. Yeah. Italian pizza is the best. Yeah. Chili's, Shake Shack. I haven't seen a Chili's here. So, Julian, how you doing from Arizona? Sorry, I'm having drama with my PayPal account on name change. Oh no, no, don't worry about it. What happened with South America, like San Paulo? They had a fish processing plant there, and when they closed it down, they started having shark attacks frequently. Really? Hmm. No, there's no Hooters. No Hooters. Oh, Shakey's Pizza. That's right. Shakey's is a chain from the US. Uh what a burger? Not that I know of. I haven't seen that. So Anytime you get a vaccine, there's a chance of getting sick with the vaccine is supposed to protect you. So we got the Pamplona Kid. What's up, Gio? Howdy. How are you doing? If the vaccine was proven safe to take, why wouldn't you want to take it? Yeah, I don't know. You wear long pants much there? Lightweight jacket? No, I never wear a jacket. Sometimes, sometimes I will wear jeans at nighttime, but not during the day. Yeah. How long has it been since you had a good cannoli, Gio? Oh man, let's see. The last good cannoli I had was in Florida. Yeah, it's been a long time. I miss cannolis. They don't even know what a cannoli is here, let alone would they even know how to make it. So I'm good, thanks. How was your Thanksgiving? It was good. It was very good. Thank you. Yeah, no problem there. Mall of Asia has Texas Roadhouse and Chili's. Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, Jollibees is popping up all over now. Yep. Not enough implants in the Philippines to have a Hooters. No. They have everything in Manila. IHOP, Subway, Gold's Gym, IKEA. They bring over just about everything. Yeah, they do. Manila is more of a hot spot for all the Western um, restaurants and things like that. Yeah. So many Hooters jokes, so little time. 1 year. 1 year being here in the Philippines. What do you mean 1 year? Or 1 year anniversary? Can you drink beer in public streets there or on the beaches? Yeah, yeah, you can. I went to Siargao in 2015 for a month, and it was incredible. Went back 2019 and didn't even recognize it. So is it still incredible, Ryan, or are you saying it's better or worse? The Hooters in the Mall of Asia in Manila, overlooking Manila Bay. No kidding. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I've seen it down in South Center. Oh, anniversary 1 year. Yeah, in January will be 1 year for us. 1 year. Yep. Best airline to Philippines. PAL is good. I also like Korean Airlines. I like Ava is probably the best because that flies through Taiwan. It's a Taiwanese airline. Um, that's a good one too. I've never seen big Hooters here. Yeah, it's a rare thing to see here. Look like a spring break in Cancun. Yeah, no, I've never been, and that's on my list as a place to visit. But yeah, um, hey Mark, how you doing? On the news, they want to start giving out vaccine in 3 weeks. I know it's coming up really soon, really soon. I think all the frontliners are going to get it first, and then it's gonna, everything else will follow. But yeah, yeah, I know it's coming out really soon. Oh, there's a Hard Rock and a Outback Steakhouse near MOA. I didn't know that either. What is the price range from the ground floor condos to the top floor where you are? Dumaguete, the condos here will run you anywhere from 20K, which is 400 US, to depending on the larger units, to about 35K, 700 US, depending how big and if it's a two-bedroom and the view and all of that. Julian, do I want to show her places like the Grand Canyon beaches? Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of places that I'd like to show her as well. Yep. I think you would enjoy Palawan. I was there in Coron in 2019 and El Nido a year before. It was beautiful for diving and snorkeling. Yeah, I'm big into diving, big into snorkeling. I've got Ging into snorkeling now, and she would love to. Yeah. To add to your reply on the reasoning for apprehension on this apparent vaccine is fundamentally one's instincts. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people don't want to do it, for sure, and we should all have the freedom of choice on whether we'd want to do it or not. So, Sunset World Geo, I'm a Mexican citizen and I have a Filipino husband. I'm not allowed back in the Philippines because same sex is not recognized. When you consider open foreigners will be allowed back. I don't know. Possibly second quarter of next year is my guess. Uh, Corona is awesome. Yeah, that's one place that Ging and I really wanted to go to. Is we really wanted to get to Palawan. So I'm hoping that we will still do that. Loved it there. Very authentic feel. Yeah, yeah, no problem. A lot of frontliners, a lot of frontline workers probably don't want the vaccine either, but they will essentially be forced if they want to keep their jobs. I don't like it. Ging says hello. She doesn't want to show her face yet, but let's see. Hoping for April 1st for my birthday, girlfriend's birthday, I pray. So, Thomas, the coming vaccine is a mind control drug. When the harvester ships arrive, a signal will be sent out, and everyone with a vaccine shot will mindlessly march into the ships to be processed. Outback Steakhouse in Greenbelt Mall in Makati, off Makati Avenue. I wonder how the steaks are. I wouldn't imagine they are the exact same, but maybe I'm wrong. I really don't want that vaccine, but if it's keeping me from my Filipina, I will do it. I think a lot of people feel the same way. Yeah. Regarding Palawan, there's a place in the south of Palawan called Balabak. Please Google it. Incredible blue water. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Um, how's her dad? Her dad is recovering. She, he was attacked by a machete from a drunk neighbor. Got cut on the chest, chin, forehead, and needed stitches, tetanus shot. So he's recovering. The guy fled. They don't know where he's at, but yeah, it's a mess. You should open a Millie crepe cake shop. Bring a piece of New York to where you're at. I don't want to be tied to any business here. I really don't. So he's recovering, George. Has anyone been to Romblon Islands? Huh. I've heard of it, but I've never been there. Turning into a zombie, yeah. I work at a hospital, and about 60% of our clinical nursing staff has already had COVID. Not sure if they will be forced to get the vaccine this season. Does Ging have a sister asking for her friend? She has four sisters. One is married. I think that one is 27. The other one is 24 and is getting married. Then the other two are single but young. The other one is 17, very pretty, but she's just 17 right now. And the other one's like 13. So, again, thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. And thank you, Fanatic Forger. I appreciate that. What does this say, Ging? Mas mabolo sa ika matalino naga isip saka kitun ar umuna ingat
That's Bicol.
Bicol?
Yeah,
Oh, she doesn't understand it either. It's
that's
from
Bicol.
from
That's
Bicol.
Ate language.
Well, I'm not sure what you said, but thank you for the super chat.
Marahal.
Tutor for a month. Would I have to worry about it being stolen. Vehicle theft is huge in Hawaii, and I got plucked when I lived in Maui in the 90s. Well, it depends where you're at and where you're going. You definitely should be careful. Make sure you get one with the wheel lock and all of that. So I think you're probably okay. Worked at a hospital in about. Oh, okay, I think I read that one. The steaks are really good. 2,700 pesos. The fish and chips are really good for about 700. Okay. And island fever and problem with for expats there. A lot of people in Hawaii have panic attacks about being disconnected from mainland. Huh. Yeah. Vaccine may Soylent Green. Look it up. The thing's getting more expensive, or has the pricing of everyday goods evened out? No, everything seems to be still just normal prices. I really haven't seen anything crazy. Yeah. You want to see Ging with her morning hair? I think she says no, or maybe
I'm shy.
she says she's shy. Popeye's Chicken, Outback Steakhouse in Manila. Strawberries, but they're not cheap. Ging,
Hello.
there's Ging in the morning, and that's what she looks like in the morning. Still beautiful. Still guapa. Could you go over some seafood shellfish prices on restaurants? Really cheap here. Shrimp and crab and all of that, very inexpensive. Let's see. I could do a video on that. So I'll have to do a video on that one. After 6 months, you'll be ready to visit another island or a big city. I feel like that right now. I feel like I've got cabin fever. Even though I'm free to go around Negros Oriental, I want to get out and travel. It drives me nuts. Alabec is really difficult to get to and very isolated. Had a tour book there in March, but got locked down in Bacolod for 3 months. Is there a second wave of panic buying going on there? No. No, things are pretty normal here in Dumaguete. So, thank God there are no dog sharks, great white bull sharks, or any of those man-eating sharks ever reported in the Philippines oceans. Yeah, we don't really get those. You do get some tiger sharks. I think there's some maybe white tip. Some other types of sharks, thrasher, but yeah, there's not the attacks that you get in other place. Yeah, she is. She is. There are alligators in certain parts of the Philippines. Yeah, saltwater crocs or something. 7 p.m. in Texas. Yeah, I'll probably go another 20 minutes or so, and then I got to get going. I got a bunch of things to do today, but we'll go for another 20 or so. Alguien Guapa Cayo. Yeah, I know that one. Otherwise, they won't live long. Filipino fishermen will hunt them down right away for vengeance and for food. They have oysters here. Mm, oysters? I don't think they do have oysters here, do they? No, no, not really. Not that I know of. I haven't seen that here. Yeah. When I was a kid, we would buy the oysters in the cans and put them on chicken and the biscuit crackers. But the smell was pretty bad. But yeah, I liked them. So anyway, what else is going on? We did talk about the top 10 countries that have been traveled to during the pandemic. So we'll go over that one more time for those who have already left and those who have just come in. And so yeah, because I know some people were interested in that. So let's go through that one more time. So the top 10 countries for travel during the pandemic. And this is, let's see, Tanzania, number 10. Number 9 was the Maldives. Number 8 was Turkey. Number 7, Colombia. Number 6, Costa Rica. Number 5, Jamaica. Number 4, Bahamas. Number 3, Dominican Republic. Number 2, Croatia. And number 1 is Mexico, which has not even really lost a lot of their tourism right now. So, yeah. So I eat a lot of clams. Yeah, I like clams too. Clams, yep. So, Julian, I'm new with viewing your channel, but enjoy it. Do you know some Bisaya Gamai? Gamai. Late to the party. Are they ever going to let us back in? Hope you're having a great morning, Gio. I think so, Joshua. Hang in there. I really feel like around second quarter things are going to start to open up again. So, Brian, I've never seen an oyster in the Philippines. Yeah, either have I. I haven't seen it either. Yep, saltwater crocs here in part of Siargao Island. Yeah. Oceanic white tip are the scariest. They will eat you alive. Most others will spit you up because you are not salty enough. Oh, there are oysters in the Philippines. Vendors sell them by the gallons. No kidding. I don't know why I've never seen that. How did you meet your wife? I know there's a lot of sites, but I feel most are scams. Well, we met just on Facebook. And honestly, you're right. A lot of the sites are scams. Now, probably the most expensive dating site is Christian Filipina, but probably the best because it weeds out the scammers quite a bit. So I would have to say Christian Filipina is number one for that. But as far as how we met, we just met on Facebook. I think we had a friend in common, and so I came up as a suggested friend. And Ging actually sent me a friend request, and I accepted. And I think I reached out to her first to chat, and we started chatting, and that's you know asked her out like a month later to meet. Let's meet at a restaurant, and the rest is history. So let's see. How is it right now? I think, are you talking to Rambling Rick, maybe? So when or if things open up, I will have 1,000 a month in retirement. I'm quiet and just want a relaxing retirement. Where should I live? I'm 60. Well, I would have to know a little bit more about you. What type of weather do you like? Are you more of a beach person? Do you want some cooler weather? Do you kind of want to be up in the mountains? Do you like hiking? You just want to sit at home? Do you like to go to coffee shops? Um, I need a little more info on what type of lifestyle you like because there's a lot of great places here. Have you tried the yellowfin tuna fresh from the market there? Yes, I have. I tried it in General Santos, which is the tuna capital of the Philippines. When will the Philippines open to American tourists? Eugene, that's the $1 million question we get every live stream. And if I was a betting man, I would say the second quarter of 2021. Hey, Ed, good to see you. Even later the party, better late than never. Yep, for sure. Pretty deserted, but we have freedom to do what we want in Surigao. In Dumaguete, same way. So let's see here. Same but learning with a lovely girl from Bohol. She says oysters are different from US. I'm used to half oysters on ice with lime and a drop of hot sauce. That's what I like too. I used to when I lived in Florida, we would go to these oyster bars and have drink beer and have oysters and yeah. Okay. Different, huh? Whole oysters here. Justin, every country has scams. You just have to be safe and careful. I met my Filipina on Facebook too. Yeah. Really, you can just meet on Facebook. It's not so hard. Yeah, I can do that. Actually, next time we go to a local wet market, I will do video there. That's a good idea. I met on International Cupid. You'll find bad apples, but you'll find amazing people there too from all over. Yeah. Um, there are a lot of good places, but I met mine, or I mean, a lot of people I know use Christian Filipina. A lot of Ging's friends are on Christian Filipina, actually. My favorite is tuna fish. Oh, you haven't met yet. Okay. But you're chatting with a girl from Bohol. Ah, gotcha. Jeez. Coffee shops, beach, not much into hiking, snorkeling, etc. It's cold. Disabilities make that stuff difficult. I like warm to hot weather and local food, easy traveling, slow and easy. Honestly, you should Dumaguete would be a nice choice for you. There's a lot of coffee shops on the boulevard here. You got beach in Darwin, which is nearby. Um, so if you got some disabilities, there's some great hospitals here. So Dumaguete would probably be a good choice for you, honestly. Turkey is the most safe, better quality, and cheapest on this pandemic time. What parameters they use or top 10? Um, I think it's probably the top 10 as far as ease to get into and visa. I think also the most traveled to, you know, maybe the weather. It's if you want to see the article, go to traveloffpath.com and you can see it. Yeah, yeah, no problem. 37, and I'm finally in a place to start looking for a wife. I think I like the values I hear you talk about in Philippines women. Yeah, and at 37, you got the pick of the litter, and you're not going to get a hard time about age gap because you're 37. So you marrying a girl who's or meeting a girl who's 23, 24, whatever, is not even a big deal. You're not going to have the nobody's going to really even judge you, even back in the U.S. You're going to be fine. So. Rogue. Well, thanks, Gio. Good information. Look forward to your next installment. Got to go. Get ready for Monday Night Football. Seahawks versus Eagles. Go Seahawks. All right, bud. Take care. I'm just going to go another couple minutes here, and then I'm going to call it a day as well. So, Rambling Rick, have a great day. Time to check out if any tourists have come today. Yeah, take care. I met my girlfriend on Facebook, and I was hit by a scammer yesterday. You just have to be careful. The largest crocodile ever caught in the world was a long 20-foot, 3-inch caught in Rio Tuba, Palawan. No kidding. That thing is huge. I could eat you whole. Gio, may I suggest a channel? Jennifer Terry. I think Ging watched that the other day, didn't you, Ging? Jennifer Terry? Yeah, she saw that just the other day and showed it to me. So Tagless, she's full of info on the latest restrictions, even authorized quarantine hotels and prices. She really does her homework. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Um, I've been kind of doing a little bit of that myself on just keeping people up to date with the news. It seems like it's their seems like what they want to see now. Jonathan, I also met my wife on Facebook from a mutual friend. Honestly, Facebook might be the best way to do it, really. Um, my favorite is bagels and lox. I'm sure there's a lot of restaurants in the Philippines who sell that fish. Bagels and lox. I don't know if you could find that. Maayon hapon, Gio. Umping. Enjoy your day. We'll definitely continue watching. Adios. Take care, Julian. Good luck with your relationship. The girl in Bohol. Long was 2,360 pounds. That's amazing. Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here. Appreciate everybody coming out today. Appreciate the members and super chats and everybody just watching. I definitely appreciate that. Carl, I got lucky. I'm 57. My girlfriend's 48. Our birthday is 2 days apart. Awesome. Pamplona Kid, she's my go-to channel every time I need to know current situation. I'm also planning to go there sometime first quarter. Check her out. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Thanks for the great information, Gio. Take care. I'm third generation oil gas, but my industry, I'm never home long, and almost women here are just after money. Yeah, I hear you, Dusty. If you find yourself in Seattle, let me know. I will treat you to a cup of coffee. Sounds good, Rogue. You never know. I think Facebook is the best place to meet a girl as well. I think so too, really. Okay, guys, that was the last comment. I'm going to call it a day. Again, appreciate all you guys for watching. Check out traveloffpath.com if you want to see some of the articles and some of the countries to travel to. And I'll keep you guys updated on the news and what's happening here in the Philippines. And I'll see you next time. Oh, real quick, Salvador, the guy from Winter Haven. Okay, very cool. Yeah, like I said, I was in Orlando. Okay, guys, take care, everybody. See you next time.